think that might be the courtyard I need to check out. Remember they had stuff in the locker. Damn it.
Can play backup, worst cup, huh? What do you think this is, the 1980s? Like those old
Our
documentaries?
old military
The
industrial friend.
journalists aren't the revolution, man.
I
We're just
remember you.
augmenting the message. And
We
the
have to
message
free us
is
or
still out
interrogate
there.
us.
It's on the street. It's over the airwaves. It's spreading online. Maybe this is what this is those faceless skull buckets, huh? Maybe you're thinking you're fighting for the wrong team. Well, that's a good start.
Devastator shotgun. The Devastator is an upgraded version of the Widowmaker Tech 1 by Military Arms of Ostrova. This self-loading shotgun sports a drum magazine that greatly increases its rate of fire as well as its shell capacity. With its wide area of effect and damage capacity, few weapons can compare when it comes to portable room clearage. It fires 12 gauge cartridges. Specification upgrades are possible if weapon parts are available. Yeah, I'm going to replace the tactical shotgun with it. Oh yeah. Sadly I won't be using it, but it's handy to have. He's really using it.
The press wants to be free!
Did they send you to get me out?
From state police to police state. This is a dump, man. Where did all that corruption go?
Okay, hack it.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated.
$100 nice.
Access granted.
The press want... You! I knew it, man. I knew you were one of them all along!
Do I look like I'm one of them?
I can feel my hands right now, but if I could run a search for shadowy extra-government agent on the net, pretty sure it's all you.
Fair point. What happened? You pulled a freedom of information speech on the state police?
Ha fucking ha. They didn't wait for a speech, man. Lesson learned. Smash the state before the state smashes your nose.
Little K asked me to get you out.
She's the K now, man. I'm a liability to Sam's dad.
She cares about you, Yarrick. She didn't want to leave you or Bones behind.
Always was a cool cat, man. One of the good ones. She wrote The Wheels Come Off 16 years ago, and the conspiracies just keep checking out. Everything except the gray aliens, but who's to say that's not a metaphor?
Give it a few
She wrote
decades.
the book.
I don't believe in authorial intent.
I might have known you wouldn't keep your heads down during the riots.
This is what a radical news source lives for, man. Lives and dies for. But the helmets on the streets, the extreme peacekeeping, that's not about the Golem riots. How are the Augs gonna get over here? Carpool? No. Someone
That'll be interesting.
somewhere wanted the cops to clean house in Prague. And this is just the beginning.
Road trip.
What if they could call martial law anywhere, anytime? Cops without borders.
That's your prediction, huh?
You can take it to the bank, man. The Palisade Property Bank.
Do I need to rob it again?
You told me you were a liability to Sam's dad. How do you figure that?
Because the cops burn me, man. Exposure is death. They didn't have to ask a single question. Just took my DNA off their knuckles. My high school dropout date, my sister's parking tickets, my dark neck proxies. Oral cemetery.
Oral cemetery?
They didn't get a lot of mainstream airplay. Anyway, little K shouldn't have sent you. Sammy's dad has to be bigger than any man or woman.
Sam's dad is bigger than you now, Yarrick. The Resistance reached further than you planned for. You want to fall on your sword, there's a better place to do it than in a holding cell.
Whoa, whoa, you know I use the term liability real broadly.
I warned you about picking a fight with Picus. They've got a lot invested in protecting the message.
Would I be talking to you now if Picus had got to us? I mean, does Eliza Kassan have a sense of humor? All those bombs going off lately. What's one more in the sewers? BTW, those are all rhetorical questions.
You don't say.
But they're trying, man. Bones heard the cops talking about extraordinary rendition. What a wonderful connected world we live in, when they can pin an acronym on you, ARC, NSF, who gives a rat's ass, and ship you off to a black site on the UN's credits.
Just how many states are you an enemy of?
All the corporate ones.
There's a way out of Prague for you both. The Samizdat Resistance has organized everything. We just need to keep our heads down and get to the cleaners nearby.
The cleaners. Huh. Irony. Wait, you mean going through the cops?
It's bad out there right now. Keep your heads down and don't leave here until I tell you to. I'll be back.
Okay, I get it.
Good. I'm gonna take another look outside.
I'm gonna have to take out some cops. Meet Edward at the rendezvous? Damn it. Shit. Okay, there's a bot over there. I need to find their security hub and take that down. Annoying. Actually, wait, I don't have bot control.
Our old military industrial friend.
Short answer to the question, no. I'm granted. Hold on. If we've been granted these powers, we expect to use them. As far as I'm concerned, Prague is now an extension of Golem City. Act accordingly. Primary responsibility is to yourself and safety of your men. As anyone who spent many years in Golem, making sure it's better to be decisive than hesitant. If slightest doubt, treat the individual in front of you as a threat. And if it's cages were missing, we'll bring more cages. There's any additional men with experience in Golem City. Some of these men were forced to take leave after certain highly publicized incidents. I've made special requests to the Ministry and fast-tracked their reinstatement. In my opinion, these are the exact kind of officers required for the task at hand. They're battle-tested and know how to handle a crowd. Just make sure to keep any cameras away. It's the kind of officers you want in the evening news. Don't I have the ability to dual takedown? I don't. Oh, Typhoon. Doesn't work. Probably because of their helmets. because of their helmets. So we might just have to try the uniform thing, because I won't be able to take them all down. I'm not sure I can take them all down. Oh, you.
Everything is upside down.
Our imprisonment is proof that Samizdat knows what it's talking about.
Please don't leave me here.
Martial law is an excuse for the police to do whatever they want.
Okay, how did you end up here from Goa?
You here to free us or interrogate us?
Sammy's dad saw all this coming. We're prepared, man. All we need to do is get to the rendezvous. The cleaners nearby.
There's a police locker in the corner that should be stocked with uniforms. Find something that fits and try to look convincing. We need the cops to think you're one of them. Good. It's time to go.
No helmets? The helmets would help. To be honest, you kind of make it work. You kind of make it work with that facial hair and hair. You're not bad. He's the worst of the three.
Need a stronger lead.
I feel like I'm 20.
We should stay together. We should send out Insurance Archive again.
Okay, just have to get to here.
Different angles, no angles.
Remove that certification.
Myself, yeah.
Feel like I'm 20.
In a place like this.
Cut that last part on the second story.
Long live
You got that
Samizdat.
piece done yet?
What were you saying?
Got you smoking now, not earlier. Major ghastly.
My God, martial law, curfews, people being jailed for no reason. It reminds me of Warsaw 1982.
Warsaw didn't have drones.
Now what? Do you think we are safe here?
You are for now, but you can't risk going back outside. There's a group organizing underground. They're doing everything they can to create a refuge to get people out.
These men, they are part of this group?
That's right. I know how much it meant to you to stay in Prague, Edward, but things aren't going to get any better. If there was ever a time to leave, this is it. If you wait here, Kay's people will come for you. They'll do everything they can to help.
I think I have no choice now. I will wait here. I will cooperate. Thank you for everything you've done.
Good luck, Edward.
I guess there's no real
I
explanation.
cannot believe we made it.
No explanation for how he got here, like from Golem City. There was talk of the riots spreading from Golem, but I figured that was just bullshit, or you know, sympathetic riots rather than people from Golem actually breaking out.
I will be careful. I promise.
And there doesn't
I
seem
am
willing,
one of the lucky ones.
doesn't seem willing to voice it either.
Time for Samizdat to go international. I must practice my French.
Wish we got to talk to Bones more. I know it comes off kind of cool right now.
Exit plans, man. Exit plans. Always be making them. We worked this contingency plan out when we started Sammy's Dad. Didn't think it would actually come to this, though.
No one thought it would be like this. You're gonna need these documents where you're going, wherever that is.
I hear Paris is the best place to have a revolutionary agenda these days. If you
Hint,
want to come
hint.
along, you can be the muscle. Well, whatever your arms are made of, the stuff they use on space shuttles.
No can do. I've got a previous engagement I really can't miss.
Right, with the cardboard box company.
Watch yourself out there, Kay.
Kay? Kay is Casdy, man. Kay is everyone. You're part of it now.
Does also sound kind of like Metal Gear reference. But I don't know, Jensen's kind of spy-y right now. But well, that's what it made me think of. I can't hear cardboard box without thinking of Salt Snake or Snake. But the hint, Paris. We find a revolutionary group in Paris in Deus Ex 1. They end up being in charge of the order and whatever else in Deus Ex 2. Nothing new?
Time for Sam is that to go international.
Okay.
Where did that come from?
Actually, thinking about it, Jensen's hands must be new. Because he's got that new orc lodged right in them. Don't know how many side quests there are. Part of me is wondering, like, am I missing anything? I haven't found that info broker in a while, you know? Finally, I think it's nearly done. I'm gonna send this picture to myself. I've got an obsessive thing where, like, I have to send everything, I have to save everything. Just in case, you know, in like 10 years' time I need it. And believe me, that has happened. I remember reading one thing before, and now it's just like, oh, I gotta read it again, and I have no clue. And like I said, it was like 10 years ago.
Come on, I heard something.
Oh, by the by, was not able to find the thing, and it is bugging me.
Oh, thank God. I knew you'd find me. We must hurry before he comes back.
Before who comes back? The man who killed Angela Gunn?
Yes. He knows you're after him. He wanted you to come.
One sec. Here.
So where is he?
He's everywhere. Can you not feel his presence? Are you not scared?
Why did he bring you here? What does he want?
He's using me to get to you. He thinks that by removing your augmentations, he can make you whole again. Quickly, come closer. Help me to get out, and then deal with him. Please, I beg you.
I need to know where he is first. How long ago did he leave here? Which way did he go?
You've got to be joking. We don't have time for all these questions. If he knows I spoke to you, he will kill me. Please, my ankle. Come closer. You must help me escape.
Not the chance to know what you are. I came here to take down a killer, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Let's just confront.
You can drop the act, Daria. I know what's going on here. I know there's no one else out there. I ran into an old friend of yours. The name Cipra mean anything to you?
You mean Dr. Cipra? Where did you dig him up?
He's worried about you.
He's worried about himself. He's worried about Tai Yong Medical. They're willing to kill to cover things up, to preserve their precious image. Their reasons are savage compared to mine.
Killing unwanted civilians is one thing, but you've never dealt with someone like me. Trust me, you don't want to do this. I don't believe this is who you are. Something changed in you after Cipra's surgery. Made you do things you'd never have done otherwise, for reasons that aren't your own, but it's not too late.
I don't believe this is who you are. Something changed in you after Cipra's surgery. Made you do things you would never have done otherwise, for reasons that aren't your own. But it's not too late.
Don't be so naive. I am who I've always been. Cipra's surgery, all it did was give me access to another man's technique, his courage to follow through.
I can still help you.
What's that hominem?
Ad hominem 2026.
What did you do? Is that how machines pray?
Listen to me. The neural chip that Dr. Cipra installed in you is in the process of shutting down. Try to focus. This version of you that's been hurting people, I don't believe that was really you.
Then you don't know me very well. Why? Why should this change anything? The procedure gave me access to memory banks that weren't my own. The choice to draw on those memories was mine alone. You can't take them from me.
The shutdown process may take some time. There may be lingering effects, but that doesn't mean it's too late to help you.
You really believe that, don't you? All right. Prove it. Approach me. Come. Closer. Save me from all those horrible things Dr. Cipra did. There's nothing to be scared of, right? Surely, whatever trace of the harvester was inside me is gone now that you've said the magic words.
One thing when I was saying that she would have less culpability than the average person, acting on those impulses and whatnot, I'm not saying she should go free. I mean, put into a mental hospital, like, kind of thing. Probably not a standard medical hospital kind of thing with, proper security and whatnot. It needs to be some middle ground between a prison and a mental hospital, proper treatment and whatnot, but properly trained guards for dangerous and violent inmates. Something like some cross. She would need to go into something like that. Just to be clear, she did carry these actions out, and if it was her, I'm just thinking she has less culpability behind it, but she's still culpable to some degree.
You obviously need more help than I can offer, but that doesn't mean it's not out there. Whatever power the neural chip had over you should be diminishing now. You should be able to fight whatever urges Svobodka's memories inspired in you.
I don't need help. You do. You need to be saved. All Ogs need to be saved. Svobodka inspired me to... I can make you human again. I have to make you human again to atone for what I am.
Trio Omega, sadistic, defiant, and inhumane. Subject personality traits are those of Marek Sobecka, the original Harvester killer. Whatever part of the real Daria Maska that now remains has long laid dormant. She must be found. Humanize. Differentiate. You're not a Harvester, so Gessler's personality overwhelmed your own. You're acting like him, killing like him, justifying it all in the same sick ways that he used to. Do you remember the day you first walked into Kipper's office? You were someone else. You're a victim of scientific hubris, a procedure that should never have been taken in the first place. Indeed, I'm all for transhumanism. This is not one thing I'm for. Certainly, like, there could be value in implanting things into people, like, say, skills. You know, someone, you know, has, you know, you could have, you know, like you see in sci-fi, there being like autodocs, you know. Now someone knows first aid, but they have no clue what their hands are doing, but fuck if they aren't doing it well, you know. There's value in that, but inserting the memories, impulses, and whatnot of psychopaths into people, yeah, no, I'm not a fan of that. Not a fan of that. It's like, you know, inserting medical AIs that people can draw upon it when they need to, yeah, that would be beneficial. But this, no. Very much no. Yeah, no, not a fan. You're not a killer. Your experimental treatment cut too many corners. Didn't fall up like it should have. You've been left down. She's 4 Omega.
This notion you got that augmented people need saving, that there's something less than human. Look, I didn't know her, but I guarantee you Angela Gunn was a human being. Her humanity was defined by her ideas, her passions, the causes she believed in. It had nothing to do with whether or not she was augmented.
Svobodka never saw them as individuals. To him, they were victims of an age that terrified him. Mirror images of the monster he had become. He believed the entire race was under attack, that mechanization would keep our souls from migrating.
How does that sound like to you when you say it? Migration of the soul? Victims of an age? I'm not talking abstract concepts here. I'm talking about people. Svobodka never saw his victims as human beings because it would have made it impossible to do what he did. He was sick, he was scared. Whatever he was no savior.
You're right. The more he killed, the easier it became. That is why he had to repeat the actions, ritualize them. It was a way of justifying his beliefs. If you kill one man, the memory is like an anvil. If you kill 7, you quickly forget the first. It all starts to seem inevitable. Surely it must be obvious to you by now. The Daria you came here to save no longer exists. She hasn't for a long time. All that remains now is his drive, his legacy, his cause.
There's one more Omega. I kind of lost count there, but yeah, Alpha's one behind. His cause, not yours. I don't know the extent to which you're responsible for your actions, whether you choose to be like him or whether it's out of your control, but you're different. Recognize that and start distinguishing his motives from your own. Zebeka was all about exuding power over people. That was the only cause he cared about. He made himself feel strong by making others helpless. That's exactly what he's done to you. Once you accept that, maybe you can start to forgive yourself.
Svobodka didn't have a cause. He was a serial killer, acting out on impulses that he tried to couch in spiritual rhetoric. A way of convincing himself that his actions were justified, but they weren't. No amount of faith or abstraction makes it okay to dehumanize people the way he did.
No. No, it doesn't. But so what if you're right? So what that Svobodka's motivations cannot stand up to scrutiny? His actions, my actions, cannot be justified. Where does that leave me? If those others did not deserve to die, then I deserve to die.
It's not for me to judge you. I want smarter people than me to look into this neural procedure you underwent. Dig into Cipra and Tai Young.
So you're offering me a fair trial?
I'm not offering anything. But if there's any hope of moving on here, not killing anyone else is a good start. Society has every right to judge you, and it also has a right to hear all about Cipra and Tai Young Medical. I'm not an expert on extenuating circumstances, but I'd say you have an interesting case.
You were right before, about the override process taking time. I can feel him receding. Memories of memories no longer crashing against me like they did. Let me prove it to you. Come closer. I want at least one person to know that I'm no longer what I was.
All right, Daria, we need to get you out of here for real now. This needs to end.
The version of me who did those things to Angela, I cannot even imagine it being me, even though I know it was. Whatever happens now, whatever the authorities decide, I hope you believe me.
What's going on here? What the hell am I interrupting?
Detective Montag.
So it looks like we're actually having
Daria's got a story
sex.
to tell you. How you react may have something to do with your thoughts on experimental neural therapies and big medical conglomerates.
I don't understand. Where is the harvester?
I want to turn myself in.
One of you really needs to start explaining.
I want to confess to the killings of Angela Gunn, Misha Voracek, Pavel Klima, and Leonie Wolf. I also need to tell you about the neural procedure I underwent. It involves Tai Yong Medical and a man named Dr. Nicholas Cipra.
We heard of Leonie
I hope
Wolf
you'll
before.
listen.
You can handle this from here. Just listen carefully to what she has to say.
I don't remember
All
where.
right, Daria. I think you should start at the beginning.
2 years ago, I signed up for a program sponsored by Tai Yong Medical. They said they could help people to become better versions of themselves. It all feels so long ago now. Another lifetime.
I suggest you remember everything you possibly can about this procedure you underwent. Who was involved, when it happened.
I'm not that person anymore. I swear to you.
Take your time. For now, nothing's going to happen until I get the full story. Let's check it out. It was just over there.
Shouldn't... No, that was just EMP.
Nothing? Huh. Nothing?
Huh. For whatever reason, I couldn't disarm it from up close anymore. Or maybe I moved too fast.
Turning myself in is for the best.
Time.
I know. It's like trying to remember another version of myself. I can recall the actions, but the impulses that led to them, they feel so foreign.
Kinda wanted to hear more about that. There. We'll just let this conversation play out.
All right, Daria. I think you should start at the beginning.
2 years ago, I signed up for a program sponsored by Tai Yong Medical. They said they could help people to become better versions of themselves. It all feels so long ago now. Another lifetime.
I suggest you remember everything you possibly can about this procedure you underwent. Who was involved, when it happened.
I'm not that person anymore. I swear to you.
Take your time. For now, nothing's going to happen until I get the full story.
Oh, they're done talking?
Turning myself in is for the best. I know that now. It's like trying to remember another version of myself.
Oh, switched
I
hands,
can recall
Phantom
the
way.
actions, but the impulses that led to them, they feel so foreign.
Montague is on to say.